This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
Welcome back another day. It's the JAB Show, and it's your life by design. This platform is designed for people who believe that they have a divine agency to co-create and shape the lives and their circumstances, so that even if they look for the circumstances where they want, if they don't see those circumstances, they create them. They don't end up blaming anybody for what's going for them, because we believe we can create and we can design the life that we desire. That's what this show is all. Don't go away, stay with us.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
I saw a quote that just jumped at me, and so what I want to do today in this episode is to share that quote with you, and loop them into a story that I think should help to begin to shape how we approach life. And the quote says, act as if what you do matters, because it does. Act as if what you do matters, because it does. Act as if what you do matters. And obviously, this life comes with big responsibility. If person thinks say waiting they do not count, why would you care for it, whether you do them or not do them, or even how you do them? And so there's a realization that jumps into you where what you do matters, what you do count. That puts you in a position where you act with more responsibility. So I'll tell a story right through this. Act as if what you do matters, because it does. A story was told, I've heard the person will do this story, and really give publicity, wide publicity. Now, Wendaya, motivational speaker, and a couple of other stuff, passed on blessed memory. Wendaya told the story about Teddy Stoddard, Teddy Stoddard, Teddy Stoddard. Now this young man name. Is it there's a story many years ago of an elementary teacher. Her name was Mrs. Thompson. And as she stood in front of her 5th grade class on her very first day of school, she told the children a lie. Like most teachers, she looked at her students and said that she loved them all the same. But that was impossible, because there in front of her, slumped in his seat, was a little boy named Teddy Stoddard. Mrs. Thompson had watched Teddy for the whole year, the year before, and noticed that he didn't play well with other children, that his clothes were messy, and that he constantly needed a bath. And Teddy could be unpleasant. It got to the point where Mrs. Thompson would actually take delight in marking his papers with a broad red pen, marking bold X's, and then putting a big F at the top of his papers. This is not the teacher. Big F. Fail. I've done anything say we teacher, then they mark picking and paper. When they make the zero, then they make the zero big, then again get the zero dot. Now face, then they make the zero big. So that's exactly what you need somebody to do. So this man may say, I like una all equally, but one body in the class, whether body he asked for leg. Let's put another way, he asked for leg. And so when they marking paper, they mark and do all face and again there. But at the school side, this woman they teach, Mrs. Thompson. Then they require them every year for making them review the child, school picking them, the records for the previous year. When they review the school picking them, all the picking them within in class, Teddy in your paper, in your file, he keep on last. Again, because she was just so biased against this young man. But then once he began review Teddy in file, she was in for a surprise. Teddy in class 1 teacher, in 1st grade teacher, right, say, Teddy na bright boy. Ready, he did laugh all the time, he did doing work neatly, and he get good manners. He's a joy to be around. In class 2 teacher say, Teddy na excellent student. All in picking in a class they like her. But he's troubled because his mama not well. His mama get sick, we go taking life. This must be very difficult for him at home. When he go class 3, in class 3 teacher say, Teddy in mama in that one, it's been very heavy on him. He tries to do his best, but in daddy, not even show much interest in us. This go soon affect in life if nobody not do anything but this. When he go class 4, Teddy in class 4 teacher say, he writes na this in diary. Teddy don't withdraw to himself. He not show much interest in school. He not get better party them. And sometimes he even sleep in a class. By now, Mrs. Thompson, when at this class 5 teacher, don't realize the problem with this bubble get, and she was ashamed of herself. She felt even worse when he asked him picking them for bring him Christmas presents na school. All man wrap in you na bright and beautiful paper then, except Teddy. When Teddy come, in present, na brown paper, heavy brown paper, na he wrap this, when na like, grocery bag, we person come out na supermarket, na the paper na use for wrap the gift we bring him na school for the teacher. When Mrs. Thompson opened this, amongst the other presents, they all in company begin laugh. Because waiting Teddy bring her, na chain we in mama being get, when the chain gets then call them rhinestones, but na necklace, but some of the like you get anything that we can get shine, and some of the things in the shine already don't they come out pan the chain. And then one half-used perfume with this bubble say na in mama been they use. Now he wrap together for bring camp for the teacher. In company begin laugh. But because the teacher don't know what he know now, he stop the picking and make them not laugh. He begin talk about how pretty. Well, actually, it wasn't even just a chain. It wasn't a chain. It's a bracelet. That bracelet within her hand. And so, and he begin praise the bracelet. He actually puts the bracelet on her hand, and he take pan the perfume. He dab the perfume na in wrist in the teacher because she's into a new world. And after he do that, Teddy, when school come out, stay behind where everybody don't go. He walked up to Mrs. Thompson. He said, today you smelled just like my mom. Just like my mom. We don't know people except we live in their shoes. After the pikin and all left go, the story say, Mrs. Thompson, butu in aid na in desk and cry big one for 1 hour. On that very day, he stopped for teach, reading and writing and arithmetic. Instead, he began for teach, picking them. Not to arithmetic immediately, begin to teach picking them. Mrs. Thompson paid particular attention to Teddy from that day. As she walked with him, his mind seems to come alive. This Bobo way, it don't give up on. His mind seems to come alive. The more she encouraged him, the faster Teddy responded. By the end of the year, Teddy had become one of the smartest children in the class. Despite a lie that she would love the children all the same, Teddy became one of her teacher's pets. A year later, Teddy not in class again. Teddy don't go class 6. When he come now in office, he meet one note under in the moat where Teddy can left there. He telling her that she was still the best teacher she had in his whole life. 6 years afterwards, Teddy don't left primary school, and he sent another note for Mrs. Thompson. He say he don't done high school. He go university now. In car number 3 now in class. Top of in class, and she was still the best teacher in her entire life. 4 years later, he gets another letter. The letter says, things have been tough at times, but he's staying at school. He stuck with it. He says he will soon graduate with the highest honors, and he assured Mrs. Thompson that she was still the best and favorite teacher he ever had in his whole life. 4 more years later, he done college already. 4 more years later, another letter came. This time, he explained that after he got his bachelor's degree, he decided to go a little further. The letter explained that she was still the best and favorite teacher he ever had, but now a name don't long small, because when he signed a name, he signed Theodore F. Stoddard, MD, medical doctor. This bobo don't become medical doctor. When I come back, I would continue act as if what you they do matter, because it does. It no matter who that you do unto. What you do today matter. Act like that.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.
Act as if what you do matter, because it does. The story does not end there. You see, there was another letter that same year day. Teddy writes to Mrs. Thompson he'd met a girl and was going to be married. He explained that in Daddy been don't die a couple of years back, and he was wondering whether Mrs. Thompson go agree for go sit down at the place where the groom in mama for go sit down. Can't be me mama, but me married. That's what this young man said. Oh. Of course, Mrs. Thompson go, and guess what? That same bracelet with this bobo being game, class 5, now I put my hand. The same perfume, half perfume with this bobo being go game. Now he rub. He put on the perfume. You know, and you know, the same perfume what Teddy they said the last Christmas we didn't spend together with him mama. Now that bracelet they and that perfume they imagine what happened. So once this marriage they go on, they hugged each other. Dr. Stoddard, this man now Dr. Stoddard, 5-year-old bobo, we don't turn mortal man. He whispered at the mommy ears. He says, "Thank you, Mrs. Thompson, for believing in me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you so much for making me feel important and showing me that I could make a difference." Mrs. Thompson, with tears in her eyes, whispered back to her, and she said, "Teddy, you have it all wrong. You were the one who taught me I could make a difference. I didn't know how to teach until I met you. Act as if what you do matters, because it does." Even as we wrap up this, I could only look back even in my own life. In my own life, I've shared the story how if it was just the level when my parents them left my life, there's no way I could have been here. There's no way. But I could look at and look at the Mrs. Thompson then in my life. I could look at the Mrs. Thompson in my life. People who stood out there. When I was nothing, I wasn't worth anything, but put themselves out there for me. I think about them all the time. Santikoma paying back my way to go back to school, 1,000 nails for going independence. You know, when my parents couldn't even afford it at that point in time. Mr. T. Moses Koma helped me pay for Ellen for go back in school. And down the line, long list, Francis J. Issa. People stood there for me, became a Mrs. Thompson. And I hope I have been that to a lot of people in the country and outside the country. And I hope I would continue to be that. To believe in you, to believe in people, to believe in young people enough to get them to dream, enough to get them to aspire to what they can become. Act as if what you do matters, because it does. Help as much as you can. Help. You know, I'm closing with another story where my daughter, you know, I have a 13-year-old daughter, and she's in GSS in a classroom with one girl, in a classroom with a friend, and she was telling me about one time the padding here unkempt, they making here fine. It's like she can go to school in dress rough. Here no make fine, he can sleep in school. And she was almost acting in a way where like she was judgmental about this. But then I pulled the story about Teddy Stoddard, and I said, Adasa, please do not stop. You don't know her life. You don't know what she's going through. Stop being judgmental about people. Don't rush into judgment before you know people and story. Don't do that. Don't. Study, find out about them, number one. Number two, study them. Number two, if you could help, help. If you could help, help. Please, we all need it in the country. We all need it in Sierra Leone. So I said to my daughter, please, Hadassah, don't. You don't know her story. You don't. I said to her, make a paddy, go near her, find out what's happening in her world. Keep on comping. She may be the point where, even get paddy, nobody wants to come closer to her. But act as if you care. As if what you do matter. Act as if what you do matter. And maybe it's just appeal. Everybody, open your eye, look around. Even though things tough for you, people, then they will still God puts in your way for make you help. Open your eye. Open your heart. You could just be Mrs. Thompson or somebody in life. So this is what I want to be able to just bear my heart out to you. The more we wake up a day and look for somebody whose life we would touch, if every one of us wake up, if every one of us, and I say everyone, because no matter how bad things you are, there are people who have it worse in their life. But wake up every day, look for somebody whose life you could touch. Please, I beg. People have to do it for me, and I'm hopefully doing it for other people. The more of us thinking like this and acting like this, we would have a better nation. We would have a better country. So act as if what you do matters, because it does. Well, this is all we have time for you on today's show. We would like to hear from you. Call, text, or WhatsApp 030-600-200 or 030-600-800. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Like and share our content and help someone you care for to design their own life. On behalf of our sponsors, AfriCell, AfriMoney, and the REC Bank, I want to close with what we always close the show with. This is the only belief that matters. If you think you can, you will, because your behavior will follow your beliefs. And if you think you can't, you won't, because your behavior would follow your beliefs. Until next time, continue to design your best life.
This is the JB Show, and it's your life by design.